Hey Gearheads, and welcome on back into NASCAR 21 Ignition here on the PC. I'm Alan Bailey. Today we have a brand new DLC that was released for the low price of $15, the Patriotic Pack. That includes, you guessed it, this gorgeous, or is it, Matt Kenseth throwback paint scheme, part of the NASCAR legends that are being added into the game. We had Bill Elliott with the Champions Edition that's in the game that, frankly, nobody seems to ever play or care about. I feel bad for Bill. And we had the Darrell Waltrip car, which is absolutely phenomenal. And now we have Matt Kenseth. So we're going to go ahead and literally go through every single paint scheme, not only from this Patriotic DLC, but also from the throwback paint scheme, the first DLC that was released for this game a few months back. So yeah, we're gonna go through every single paint scheme, but before we do that, make sure you mash the subscribe button. It helps us out so darn much. Give us a thumbs up for continuing to truck along with this game and with the NASCAR 21 Ignition career mode that's also on the channel here. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the game NASCAR 21 Ignition so far here, well into the month of December? And let me know, do you think both DLCs are worth it? Do you like either one of them, either the throwback paint scheme one or this one, the patriotic scheme? Let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's go driver by driver and look at every single one of these paint schemes. Starting off here with Starcom, RIP Starcom, and Quinn Hoff, we have this Double Zero tail and main one, one of his primaries. This is actually a cool one. I love this throwback one, this RCR with the doggo on it. Oof, beautiful, beautiful car. We also have this orange and blue one as well. Then we have this paint scheme that he ran, and those are all the Starcom paint schemes. On to the number one of Kurt Busch, we have his normal Monster Energy car. We have the gear wrench that he ran for a handful of races. The monster car with the gear wrench logo on the back somehow qualifies as a paint scheme. I don't think it does, but there you go. And then we also have Brad Keselowski and his Discount Tire car here. Very cool paint scheme here. We also have the Dent Wizard. I like this blue. This Worth, which is just such a cool car. The Freightliner car. Very cool car as well. I dig the black. This one, which absolutely blew up Twitter. Everybody pretty much agreed this paint scheme was absolutely stunning. Doesn't quite have the same vibrance, but it's still a pretty cool paint scheme nevertheless. Moving on to Austin Dillon, his black Bass Pro Shops Tracker off-road Chevy. Pretty cool car. I dig the cars that have a little bit more black on them than anything. We also have this really cool Mobility Science Dow car. I don't like white on a car, but I actually really dig the red stripes on this, on the black, so you won me over. And I absolutely love this gold flake on this throwback. One of my favorite throwback paint schemes of that DLC pack. Here is some of the new DLC right here with this Tracker Off-Road Patriotic car. I absolutely love it when you put a pattern in solid colors. I think it adds so much more dimension and just cool features to these cars. You have such a wide, big canvas, use it. We also have this frozen custard car, which I don't like. I know the point of it was to make it look like a highlighter threw up on it, but like, it's a lot. Andes, you gotta calm down, guys. I know these are your colors, but just, no, it's too much. It's too much. And then we have this Get Bioethanol green car. I actually dig this one. It's fine. This patriotic paint scheme, I dig a lot. I love the flag draped behind that 3 and the divots, the rivets, I should say, back there. Just, it looks so cool, guys. Moving on to Happy Harvick, we have his Mobil 1 flame car. I dig this car, the simplicity of it. It works for me, and I like the color scheme as well. We also have the Hunts Brothers Pizza car. I like the green. His throwback car from his very first win at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2001, RIP Earnhardt. I dig this paint scheme. Very good throwback. The Jimmy John's car, pretty cool paint scheme. The Busch paint schemes, I can't say enough about. I absolutely love the wraps that they put on these things. They're not paint schemes, they're wraps. And the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. This is what you should do with your with these cars. Actually make the product the car. And I feel like this is the Busch car. I don't feel like it was done in a race shop. I feel like this is what Busch designed. You know, it's out, and they did, and it's absolutely perfect. And they've kind of carried it over to every single one of them. The crew, you have the mud car that he ran at Bristol this year, very appropriate, by the way. This red one, like with this red swoosh, it looked very, you know, designery, but they kept the integrity of the overall undertones of the car there, which is just absolutely great. This patriotic one, I'm not a big fan of. I think it's a little lazy. You have such a huge canvas, and you see how it's utilized with this company in particular, and then you get the next car, and it's like, oh, just keep it as black primary and then just throw a bunch of stuff on there and see what looks okay, I guess. With whatever we have left in the shop left over, it'll be fine. Then on the flip side of that, you got this one with a different logo on the hood. This one I dig just because of the yellow tone. It stands out so much more, but the Mobile 1000, I will always prefer the Busch Apple cars to anything, simply because it reminds me of the Budweiser days so much, and I absolutely love those tones on the red car, man. On the red number 4, it looks absolutely great, and I think that we're honestly very lucky to have these paint schemes. The Busch Dog Brew, not 100% gonna advocate for you getting your dog drunk. Don't think it's necessary, but kudos to Busch for making that an option for you, and for making a doggo safe beer. Actually, that's pretty cool right there. And you put a doggo on a car, you've won me over. So well done, Busch. You get one from me. We got the For the Farmers Busch car. This is a cool paint scheme as well. I dig this one. And then we got another Busch to the Moon car, man. This is a cool one as well. This one, not so much. I don't like the beer over wine. Like, what are you trying to do here with this one? It's like you just put emojis on the side of the car just because someone thought, hey, wouldn't that be funny? It wasn't. It was weird. We got Kyle Larson, the champ, right here in his championship-winning car. The Nation Guard car, this great throwback paint scheme. We have this Freightliner. We have this one. Trying to remember. Oh, this was the Charlotte. This was the Coke 600. Now I remember this one. This is a really cool patriotic one. Very subtle, but very, very effective. We have this amazing Valvoline car. I think white number 5 would look a little bit better than the red, but still a really cool, unintentional patriotic car. And then his normal paint scheme as well. Aw, Newman, I'm going to miss you in NASCAR, bud. I don't think you're driving again. I think we've Matt Kenseth you officially, but we have this one. Cool paint scheme. Oscar Mayer makes weird paint schemes. I'm going to leave it at that. Kohler generators. This is meant to be a throwback. I don't understand it at all. It's fine. This car I really dug a lot. I like the orangey red tone on this car a lot. I think it's a very slick, basic paint scheme that has a lot more detail when you get up real close to it. This one I hated. I thought it was like it was a test car and they just went, we give up. I mean, I know that Castro wanted to, you know, have a big media push for this, but everybody just kind of went, okay. It's just weird. This one is a very subtle patriotic, but very appreciated. This is a cool car. It's a little bit messy. There's a lot going on the sides here, but I dig those colors and tones a lot. Then this Oscar Mayer, which is just a hot dog. They found a way to make a weirder car. I'm just saying, Oscar Mayer, good job. You've elevated to weirder car. This Planters car is very cool. The colors are very iconic, and to me, this is a cool car. On to Mr. LaJoy. I absolutely love this flame pattern that he's done here. I absolutely love it. It's super hot roddy, but it still gets the client's message across. This one is pretty cool. It's a medication. This throwback, hands down, the best throwback out there. I don't care, because you have the same sponsor, you have the same car number, you did not have the same manufacturer. That's the only thing that's missing here. That is different. But it would be a 100% recreation, not a throwback, a recreation of the car had Mr. LaJoy driven for Ford that particular day, but I absolutely love this car. It hit me in every single one of the nostalgia feels when I saw this car and that they were doing it, and it still does. It's perfect. Folds of Honor with a very cool paint scheme here. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea for the NFL to sponsor a stock car. I know it's NFL alumni, but still, it's odd. The Crew, absolutely horrendous show. Sincerely, the worst thing to happen to NASCAR ever. But I dig the paint scheme. That's what I hate about it. I dig this paint scheme a lot. Fine. Diamond Creek with a very cool patriotic paint scheme as well here. You have, I don't remember this one, but this one's actually pretty cool. I dig it a lot, and I love how they've put their sponsors in the locations that, you know, the old patches used to be back in the day that we don't see anymore in NASCAR. I think that that's really cool that they did that. The Built Bar with Corey LaJoy's face on it. I love this car just because I know it's similar to the Custard scheme, but there's a lot more purpose behind this one, you know? It's not just neon throw-up. There's textures, there's subtle tonal differences that are so much more pleasing to the eye. And those are... On to Tyler Rennick, the Cheddar number 8 car. I dig this car, mostly because I'm a foodie that digs this car a lot. The Cat rental store, man, I get it. You know, Cat was trying something different this year, I guess, with their marketing, but something about some really good Caterpillar schemes that I missed. We don't get a whole lot of them these days in the wild. And here's a really cool throwback for Tyler Rennick. RCR killed it on the throwbacks this year, guys. They really did. This one, I think, might be one of my favorite paint schemes ever. Sincerely. I love the black hood with the blue right there, and then the fade from dark blue to black on the back right there. And just how they did everything with this car, I think, is absolutely amazing. The thing that I think is funny is the Lenovo logo with the red outline, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do here. It stands out. The logo stands out more than anything else in this gorgeously designed car, so it's just the right amount of disturbance for me. Plus, I dig these colors a lot, so I'm in. We've got this number 8 Cheddar's patriotic car, which is absolutely perfect. I really do love it. I really do think it's great. I like the tone of blue, or the shade of blue, I should say, on this a lot, and the red and the white. They're a little faded. They're a little bit more stoic and honorable, I want to say, than those bright neon blues and reds. They're just a little too much sometimes. I dig this significantly. I think it might be my favorite patriotic paint scheme. I don't know if this technically qualifies, but it does as a patriotic paint scheme. That's pathetic. Like, the uniform company should have either leaned full into this or just not done it at all. Just remove that. The car would look better. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just so last minute pathetic. Oh, quick, throw a bunting on the side. Yes, we meant to do that. Ugh. The People's Champ, Chase Elliott, Napa Auto Parts. I don't like the white on his car, man. I think that that's a really stupid decision that Napa Auto Parts did that and Hendrick did that. Remove that entirely. Give me a primary blue car with secondary gold, orangey, neon-y yellow Napa Auto Parts. Like, there should be no white on this car at all. Maybe as an accent, but not as a primary. It just looks so weird. This is a cool paint scheme. I actually dig this a lot. Something about that, the blue on that 9 is just irks me every time I see it, but that's the point. This gets second place for best throwback paint scheme, in my opinion. The number was the only thing that was different, but I absolutely love this. Surprised and shocked that we don't have his normal black and neon-y orange paint scheme in here. It's very odd that it's not in here, but it's not, because we have this Kelly Blue Book one, which is a cool paint scheme. We have this Universe. Fine, it's a serviceable paint scheme. I wouldn't design a car like this, but yeah, fine. We have this A-shoe, which, come on, me in this car. Yeah, this is my colors and almost my logo, actually. So yeah, I dig this one a lot. Oh, and here's his Black Hooters car. They added it with the last DLC, I guess. Again, I haven't gone through this. This is part of the new DLC, it looks like. Because this was not here last time I checked. So, cool. This is in here. Bill's in here as well if you had the Championship Edition, which we did. I've never driven this car. This is not the car I think of when I think Bill Elliott. There's at least 4 other cars that I see in front of this car when I think of Bill Elliott. Not this one. We've also got Elliott and Almirola back with Smithfield in this game. We have this Power Bits car. Fine. Not a great one, but the design matches the curvature of the car itself, so I give you guys credit for that when you designed it. This Smithfield one, celebrating 10 years. I actually dig the checkered flag look. I think that's really cool. We have this Pit Boss car. Pit Boss. Oh, yeah. Cool car. Cool car. This Farmer John one, which is a patriotic one, honestly not bad. Like, I see this paint scheme working very well with Richard over at Petty, but not at Stuart Haas. But I actually dig it, and I dig the fact that they put the Farmer John against the Petty Blue right there. That makes a lot of sense to me. This is a pretty subtle but cool patriotic paint scheme, and it's not even super subtle, actually. They took the same basic design and they just added some blues and some stars and some reds in there, and it absolutely works. It really does. This Pit Boss is a little bit more patriotic. This Smithfield Pit Boss number 10 is a little bit more patriotic because they went with the dark blue, and they brought a lot more red and white stripes into the side, but they also added some shadow effects, and I actually really dig this a lot. I think it's really cool. Denny, not the People's Champ Hamlin, or any other champ for that matter. Sorry. We have his normal paint scheme, his freight paint scheme, the throwback car, which I really dig, actually, the office paint scheme, the where meets next paint scheme, the small businesses one, which is kind of a throwback as well. Moving on to Ryan Blaney, we have this Menards. There's a lot of Menards with different hood sponsors, but we have this one. This Advance Auto Part might be one of my favorite Ryan Blaney paint schemes. This Advance one's up there too. It's a throwback to his father's paint scheme. Very cool. This body armor one's pretty cool. I dig the red door with the white and black hard outline. Very, very clean look, in my opinion. We have this Pennzoil Menards Ford as well. This Dex car is pretty cool too. Same concept with those thick, heavy outlines. The body armor Edge, which is a lot of colors, but I actually think that this is actually not that badly done. It doesn't scream patriotic to me, but it supposedly is a patriotic paint scheme. On to Mr. Briscoe in his rookie campaign, the High Point car, which he brought over from the Xfinity Series. We have this Ford Racing School car that is kind of a carryover from the Xfinity Series. I dig it, actually. We have this High Point one as well, throwback. I absolutely love this. I really do, with the kind of the gold, the faded gold outline on the 14 and the black stripes. Very cool, very. We have the Rush car as well in here, as well as the High Point patriotic car. Okay, not like super overly done, but I dig it. Out of every car, I never thought of orange as being the color of the Mustang. I've always thought it as like a blue, like a Ford blue, but you know, this works as well. I would have liked to seen this in that dark Ford blue with like a baby blue horse on the door. I think it looked better than orange, but it's fine. Mr. Davison, we have, this is a cool car, actually. Nice throwback car. Okay, and they even got the throwback sponsors correct on the door. This one's not bad. Yeah, I mean, like, they're decently designed cars. They're just, you know, slower than me driving backwards. Almondinger's in here. They're going to have to change those stats for the next game. I'm just saying, AJ. What you doing, bud? Hey. Not the car that I think of AJ Allmendinger in from this season, but okay. Kaz Grala, the car we're driving here in our career mode in this game. I wish we could change it to this car or that car. Like, any little change would be welcome. I actually dig this car. Then we have the champ, obviously, over here, Matt Kenseth, the latest edition with this legendary DLC. On to Mr. Buescher with the Fastenal car. the Fifth Third Bank car. We have the Castrol car. We have the Roush Performance. I actually dig the color on this car a lot. We also have this car. Not bad. We have this is actually a really cool little blue paint. This is a really cool paint scheme. I actually dig this a lot. It's pretty slick. The Patriotic Fastenal DeWalt car. I dig this a lot. I think maybe you should remove your logo from the front A post right there a little bit and just leave them over the tires, but you know, that's just me. Auto Tempest. I don't remember this car, but it's a cool looking car. And then we also have Darrell Waltrip added in the game with the Throwback DLC. We have Kyle Busch and his M&M's Camry. We also have this Interstate Batteries car. I actually dig this green so much. In person, there's so much going on with it. I absolutely love it. And the big, bold outline on Interstate Batteries, very smart choice on the designer's port. The Throwback M&M's car, very cool. Very subtle way to do this. We also have this very decadent chocolate paint scheme. This actually isn't bad. I would prefer it if M&M's went with something a little bit more subtle like this with their car than what they normally do. We have this monstrosity of whatever this is. Spotify. We have another M&M's variant with one of their products. We have the Patriotic one, which is, again, subtle but very... well, not even subtle, but just a design color change really on their normal one, but very cool. We have this purple one, which a lot of fans dug this one. I think it's because of the caramel there on the side. Not gonna lie. I'm feeling something about this peanut butter brownie Snickers right now, going, yeah, I like this a lot. It might be the purple. We have the Patriotic Skittles car. I dig this one a lot. Very cool. We have the M&M's Mini or M&M's Kids. I thought it... Yeah, M&M Mini, which I dig this one a lot too. The M&M's coming out makes me think of M&M's. And then back to the normal one. MTJ's number 19 Bass Pro Shops normal paint scheme. We have his auto owner insurance. Pretty cool paint scheme. This one has definitely evolved throughout the years. I dig it. We have the throwback to himself less than 10 years ago. Okay. We also have the Reese's car. I like the idea, but just the giant potato salad tub sitting there just makes me go, yeah. The Patriotic Bass Pro Shops car is just absolutely perfect. It's amazing. It really is. I think that's because and there's a lot going on here, but I think the thing that I like the most is that Tracker Boats is white, and same with the RVs, so the lettering being white and not black or another color or outline gives a little bit of a cleaner look to what is a lot going on in this car ultimately. Another Bass Pro Shops patriotic scheme. This one I dig because of the pattern with the stars on the blue. Very subtle but very patriotic, and it adds a lot of detail to the car. Another auto insurance car, this time, with the Sherry's Way on the car. Very cool. Love the message behind it as well. On to Christopher Bell, we have the DeWalt car. We've got the Rheem car, the Craftsman car, all cars that he's run for the past few seasons. The Irwin's car as well. I dig this one. Just to bring something different with Craftsman and Ace coming into the car. Very interesting. This Stanley car, I was looking at it like, what car number is this? Because this almost exact paint scheme has been used so often with these colors. It's just synonymous with certain drivers, and then this happens and it's like, oh, this is weird. But it's still a cool looking paint scheme. The Sirius XM car, again, cool paint scheme, a little basic, but it's pretty cool. The Toyota car with a little bit more detail. On to Matty D, his normal car. I think we're past this paint scheme, honestly. It was very cool to see it run for a few years, and now it's just kind of like, alright, moving on. The Menard's car, which we saw a lot of this year, fine. And then the variation on that one. The Menard's Dickey car, another variation, but kind of a cool car. We've got this one with a variation sponsor, Maytag. This other variation on the Menards one, but this is primary green. Pretty cool. This is not a patriotic car, but it's part of the patriotic pack, even though it's not a patriotic car. I said it. We've got the number 22 Joey Logano car. Honestly, I'm fine with this paint scheme. We've run it for almost 10 years now, and it's honestly a good paint scheme. I'm interested to see what the new one looks like. This one with the kind of textured looks very, very, very cool on the side here with this Pennzoil car. This throwback to the Shell Pennzoil one with the white background there. Very cool. I actually dig this one. The Auto Trader car as well. Pretty iconic at this point. Same with this AAA car, with just some of the throwbacks moments with this car and some drama that's happened around it is pretty cool to me. Bubba Wallace in 2311's rookie season. I love this. I love all these cars, actually. They're all very extremely well designed, especially this DoorDash one with its simplicity, showing off the natural beauty of the car, but also giving it a little bit of a design with the side panels, but at the same time relying heavily on the brand identification. And that's what it does. McDonald's here. There's a lot going on with this paint scheme. It's not my favorite McDonald's paint scheme, but you get the message across. This root paint scheme, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. I truly hope that this gets run every single year for the rest of my life, because this is a really cool paint scheme to keep around. It's probably one of the most important ones, stories that needs to be kept alive in the garage area today. This Columbia scheme, I think, is absolutely great. I love the subtle texture in the black. The overall white striping and the curvatures of the design fit the brand and the car so beautifully. Root, a very cool, I think, future to be iconic paint scheme. It honestly does look very sleek and very cool. DoorDash with this super cool, very patriotic paint scheme, even though there is no blue or red on this car. The black and the red and the shades of gray on this. The black and the white with the grays and the pictures and the stories that it's telling are so meaningful and so patriotic. It's absolutely gorgeous. We need a lot more pieces like this in NASCAR, I think. We have the Memorial one that was run on 9/11 of this year, with DoorDash electing to put that on there. Very cool that they did that. Moving on to William Byron, I actually dig this paint scheme a lot. The Liberty paint scheme, this is not a patriotic paint scheme, but it kind of is unintentionally as well. I love this throwback a lot. I think it's so cool. This patriotic paint scheme, very involved. There's a lot going on here. I like it, though. I like it a lot. This paint scheme, this color in particular, I'm pretty sure somebody accidentally created in the factory somewhere, and they're just trying so hard to sell it, like so hard to sell it. So that's why it's being shown and shoved everywhere in our face. I refuse to believe that anyone in their right mind picked that as the color of the year. Are you kidding me? What is that? No one likes this. Everyone is grossed out and creeped out by this weird color, and I would say this weird paint scheme. Like, what is this? Austin Cindric, who only ran a handful of races in 2021, but I actually dig this paint scheme. I'd prefer black wheels or red wheels over these white ones. I don't think it looks good when you have white rims. It's just very weird. I like this car a lot, though. Money Lion, such a cool car. This is a fine paint scheme. There's just a lot going on with the side. This is a patriotic paint scheme. I actually dig this a lot as well. More like this, please. Your Daytona 500 champ right here, Mr. McDowell, with the Love's car, Daytona 500 winning car, by the way. Couple of variations and different sponsors. I love this throwback. This is really cool, actually. Throwback to Bill. This is what I think of when I think of Bill Elliott, by the way. This is a cool car parts car as well. Patriotic military one, very cool. Black, red, and white. I dig it. This one's okay. You know, it's a little confusing, not gonna lie, but you know, I see what they were trying to do. It just looks like someone did it on paint. Has David Reagan raced in the last 3 years? I think it's been about 2 years since he got behind the wheel of a car, so I'm a little confused as to why he's in the game, but okay. No paint schemes for him. Guess he's a legendary driver now. He's about to be a throwback driver. Ryan Pierce in this number 37, out of a ride for 2022 with this team shutting down, but Cottonall. Kroger with meh. It's not good paint schemes this year for these guys. This one's okay. This one's okay. What? It's very odd, but okay. I feel like there could have been more done with this one, but yes. It's like they purposefully wanted the sponsor logos to blend in and not be noticed. This one's okay. Not great, but it's better. It's better. Oh, thank goodness that was over. We have Anthony Alfredo, who is... this car is going to have a different driver than this next year. Dude wipes on this one. Cool throwback. I actually dig this one a lot. Yeah, it's fine. World's Strongest Coffee. Yeah, Death by Coffee will do that to you. This is not bad. He had a lot of different sponsors this year. Haas CNC primary, predominantly shifting to the white and black. I actually dig this one. Variation on it as well here. Dixie Vodka right here as well. This one's not bad, actually. The Feeding America one. This one is supposedly a patriotic one, even though it's not. On to Mr. Chastain with this number 42 Clover car. The McDonald's car that's actually not that bad. This is a throwback McDonald's one, which I certainly can tell it's a McDonald's car. We had the Chevy accessory car. This one's pretty nice. This one, it's a lot going on, but it kind of works with the brand a lot. Elliott Almirola with this Armor car that's absolute fire. This is an underrated paint scheme, I'm just saying. Petty's Garage, which I'm pretty sure is not a real thing. It's a way to just make it look like you have a sponsor. STP, because you know it's a throwback, so they're gonna go ahead and give STP the free branded space, you know, every year, just like they do. This Tide car is actually really cool. It's a very cool, not so subtle throwback to good old days, while bringing a lot of, I guess, the 20th century design into this paint scheme. Very well done. Again, I don't know if this company exists. RP Funding. Richard Petty? This Columbia paint scheme, it has a lot going on, but it's actually very cool. I like it. This paint scheme as well, pretty cool. Really good initiative. The Patriotic Petty Garage, which again, pretty sure it doesn't exist. Round 2, let's go. Okay. Throwback to the first win. Okay. They claimed this was a throwback. Tide Pods. On to Bowman. I actually like this paint scheme. I think it's a huge improvement over the last few years of Allied paint schemes. Best Friends Animal Shelter, sign me up. Very obscure throwback, but a throwback nevertheless is appreciated. This is the patriotic one. I've never understood why Ally uses black as the primary for the patriotic paint schemes. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but fine. This one, which was voted on by the fans, it's absolute fire. I actually really dig this one. I think it's really, really cool. And then we're just going to kind of rock it through the Rick Wares, just because, okay, this is a decent throwback. Then we have the 52. Cool throwback. Meh. And we've gone around, so Gase, meh. Amazing throwback, yes please. We have Noah Gragson as well in the game, just with the one paint scheme. Brendan Gaughan was carried over from NASCAR Heat 5. Don't think this wasn't a patch job of some kind. You also have Timmy Hill in the game with a few paint schemes. This red and white predominant one, and this blue one. Not bad. And we've got the Justin Haley paint schemes here. The Diamond Creek car, nice paint scheme. I dig this car. Maybe it's because he's one in a very similar paint scheme that I have. Nice little throwback here, actually. And then the Air Med Care. Decent little subtle throwback, actually, to the primary paint scheme. I actually dig this one. I dig the color changes on the door. Very cool wrap. This was a cool car, the trucks at Knoxville. Surprised that they actually allowed this, but very cool paint scheme. And you wonder where the money for this game and the $15 for this DLC went? Here's where it went. Here's where that money came from. You and me to create this. Is it worth it? Here's another paint scheme. This one's actually really hot. I dig this one a lot. Cool throwback to Joe Weatherly. Love little Joe, man. Very cool. Another throwback to Red Farmer. Actually not a bad patriotic paint scheme. Another patriotic one. Another patriotic one. This one is high up there for me. Really. This one's high up there. I wish the red was less pinkish. It looks like a pinkish purple. It needs to be a little bit more red, but still pretty cool. I love this paint scheme. I think it's a very cool blend of my favorite colors, but I dig this one. This is a cool paint scheme too. I recognize it has a lot going on, but there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, this is a cool... I don't remember this one, but okay. Now, one of the best paint scheme designers of the century. You have teams of the century over at Trackhouse. You have this amazing Camping World car. This is such a cool paint scheme. Really, it is. You have this ComScope again. There's so much going on here color-wise, yet it's this exquisitely beautiful paint scheme. You have this throwback to Camping World, to something that was a contest. And to see that work translate to the racetrack and now to the video game world, very cool. Yeah, I mean, everything on this paint scheme had to be quote-unquote thrown back. And just, it made so much sense, this paint scheme. I absolutely dig it. The iFly car, which is a great patriotic, unintentional paint scheme. Then you have this red and black one, which, come on, I absolutely love. You had this Good Sam patriotic scheme that's absolutely heartfelt with a lot of depth. It's so cool. And just because we can, we're going to give you a better look at this number 17 DeWalt Ford. It obviously is on the new Ford body here, but you know, just some things didn't translate that well to the new body style. Some did. Just, I don't know, man. There's a lot of blank space right there in the black where sponsor should be, and this is the most damning. They just put a green blotch for what the sponsor was. They didn't actually get the licensing, I guess, for that sponsor, or didn't think to come up with something to put there. It looks so off and so weird. The front does not match the back. It's just so weird to me. But, you know, honest attempt. You know, I think that Matt Kenseth fans are going to get a kick out of it, but, you know, they're going to be annoyed at stuff like this. You know, how can you not be annoyed at that? So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about Matt Kenseth's paint scheme in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the DLC in general. Do you think it's worth the $15? Do you like these paint schemes? Do you just hate the paint schemes? Or do you hate the options of the paint schemes that was given to us? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, mash the subscribe button. It helps us out so darn much. And make sure that you give us a follow over on the social media accounts at Hey Alan Bailey. Links are in the description below. It helps us out so much. For NASCAR 21 Ignition, I'm Alan Bailey. See ya at the track.